Hi there. So I am doing a very special Italian reading today. I'm here in Italy, partway through a really amazing trip that has been full of many things, full of joy, full of not so much joy, as travel can be, but mostly full of just amazing experiences, completely full of amazing experiences, some of which I didn't enjoy very much, but it was still really all for the learning, all for the experiencing. I said when I came here I was just going to say yes to whatever occurred, and I've done my best. There was definitely some pretty visceral no's happening at various times. Today is a yes sort of day, after rather a rough night a couple of nights ago, but here we are. So I have gotten some new oracle cards that I'm excited to share, a couple of decks in Italian, and so I had to draw the cards ahead of time and read what they were about to be able to do this, because I can't do the video and read the translations on the phone at the same time. So I'm just going to share what came up. I thought they were all just really incredibly apropos. So this one is the first card. This is from Messages from the Universe. It's a really gorgeous set of cards. It's the back, also really cool. And this one is one step or a step up, and it's about overcoming adversity. So this card is about tenacity and confidence, and yeah, I really feel like it's a very, very apropos card for this trip, in part because I also have been taking photographs of steps, and planning to do a set of photos for a gallery that I'm doing for my website online, that will all be about ascension, about stairs, about stepping up. And so yeah, wow, that was pretty cool. And what that means for me right now is really taking one step at a time. Very important to think about just taking that next step and taking care of myself and my needs, and certainly, choosing to make decisions based on my highest good. And yeah, I do feel like that has been very, very apropos for so many reasons here on this trip. And especially in the last couple of days, we're here in Campobasso. It's a small town in sort of central southern Italy. It's the province where my father's family originated. We actually visited 2 days ago the town Cerro Alboturno, which is the town that my father's grandfather was born in, and that was really lovely and just pretty stunning to be in a place that is so ancient and holds so much of your family's history. It's a really beautiful experience. And then we landed in Campobasso and realized that the place that we were staying in was right on an extremely busy plaza, and it was Saturday. And that plaza is like the center of party town for Campobasso on Saturday nights. And the party went on until about 4:30 in the morning. I am not a stay up late and party kind of person. I would have liked to have been that person, but I was not, and so it was really a very unenjoyable night. And we didn't have any kind of, first world problems. Didn't have air conditioning, and so the windows had to be open to be not really, really hot in the room. And so our choice was windows open, bands and people, noises blaring through the windows, or window closed, a little bit less sound, and ridiculously hot. And so we kind of struggled with that night. I made reservations for another place. Interestingly, it turned out it's the same woman that runs both places, which I didn't know when I made the reservation. It's just up the street. Beautiful places, both of them, but one, the location was just not for us, and this second place is perfect. It's really lovely. It's an old palazzo, like basically a palace, somebody's very lovely home that was built many years ago. I'm not sure exactly how many, but I think this is, this area has been around since like the 14 or 1500s. There's a church just right, literally a throw of rock off of this patio that I'm sitting on that collapsed in an earthquake in 1456, so, and then was rebuilt. So that's the history, the world that we're in right now. It's just so amazing to be in a place that has been occupied and developed for 1,000 years. I mean, there's been people in all of these places for thousands of years. There are in Arizona as well. Native populations that lived in those areas for, many thousands of years as well. But Europe is really interesting. This is my first trip. So anyway, that was overcoming obstacles and taking a step up. Felt very apropos today. Another one that came up, this is from a different deck. This is a divinatory Sogni. I looked it up and I don't remember what that means. This is the deck. Signs, I think, is what that means. And so this one is about flight. The back of this card also very gorgeous. So volo is flight. So this one's liberation and air, flying. And this card also talks a little bit about hold on one sec. Icarus, who flew too close to the sun and fell as a result. And so this one I also felt just really appropriate for the time, this experience of, kind of rising up. And I got some either olive oil or sunscreen on my shirt today. It's been a little bit of a, there's a lot going on here. Anyway, so this one's about taking flight, about rising up. I thought it went really well with the other card. I love that artwork. It's really gorgeous. It's very, very appropriate for the region that we're in. It's really mountainous around here. We drove through the mountains the day before yesterday on the way here. Took some very questionable mountain roads. There was a moment where I said to my boys, this was a questionable decision. And they were like, yep. But I had them navigate me through the mountain roads. They were definitely roads that were built for 2 horses, one in either direction if you were lucky. Fortunately, we only ran into one other car, and it was in an area that was wide enough to pass. It was about, I don't know, we drove through a lot of mountain roads, but this particular little stretch when we left Cerro al Volturno was pretty outrageously poor decision by me, just based on the car that we had and our knowledge of the roads. But sometimes maybe it's best to just fly first and ask questions later. So that was quite an experience. And of course, I was enjoying the whole thing, a little bit clenched, but also really pretty pleased that life was going the way that it was, especially when we got back onto the bigger roads and the highway, and then I could enjoy the fact that I'd done that. So it worked out great. We didn't fly too high. we just went with what was there at the moment, and it was really a beautiful day. So yes, just remembering that there's the highs and the lows, I think, right? And so that was very, very also appropriate to the experience here of, don't forget that when you go up, what goes up must come down, and vice versa. And so I thought it was also super fitting that the last card that I pulled, which is out of one of my existing decks, or my previously owned decks, that's This Might Hurt, which is a traditional tarot deck. And the sun is about brightness and enthusiasm and, yeah, just enjoying the day. And I had been yesterday, after a really exhausting night and very, very little sleep, we wandered the streets here in Campobasso, and we found a little restaurant and we ate lunch there, and it was really lovely. And I sent the boys back to the room because they were done, and I was just ready to sit, and I sat and I enjoyed, and I drank some limoncello and just listened to the world around me. And I didn't understand the language, and so it was just a murmur of sound. And with a full tummy and having had some wine with lunch and then limoncello, just really a lovely day. And I came away writing some work, or working on some work around sun and lemon, and I've got some oracle cards that I created from that experience. And so I felt like, this card, just that reminder of enjoying the moment, and also recognizing that it's not always sunny, right? And it can't always be sunny. It shouldn't always be sunny. So sometimes it's going to be dark, and other times it's going to be very bright. So right on back around to the beginning of that, taking a step up, overcoming obstacles, knowing that this too shall pass. So I think that's my message for today, really, is the reminder of this too shall pass. This is what it is right now. Reminder to say yes, even in the moments when it's not sunny and bright. And in those moments, and there's been a few of them here on this trip, I've reached out. I've connected with friends. I've asked for support. I'm on a noisy road here. Well, a noisy little back street, cobblestone alley, basically. By the way, the driving everywhere in these little towns in Italy. Oh, wow. I drove some places that I did not think it was physically possible to fit that car, and we did it anyway. It was pretty wild. So I'll just give you a quick look around before I finish up here. So this is out on the patio, one of the many patios in the place that we're staying. And let's see, I'll flip this around maybe. Oh no, I can't. So I don't know what I'll be showing you, but this is the little alley roadway just off of that plaza. So just down the road there is that noisy plaza that we visited and stayed on the first night. And there's my half-finished glass of wine that I've been working on this afternoon, and all of my accoutrements. So happy to share this with all of you, and just say love you. See you all later. Happy to be here. Happy to share. See you soon.